Sparta, also known as Lacedaemon, was a prominent city-state in ancient Greece, known for its military prowess and unique social structure. The history of Sparta dates back to the 10th century BC when it was founded by the Dorians. Unlike other Greek city-states, Sparta was not built around trade or commerce but focused primarily on military strength. One interesting fact is that Sparta was ruled by two kings who shared power and responsibilities. These kings came from two separate royal families, the Aeacids and the Eurypontids. This dual kingship system was a distinctive feature of Spartan governance. Another intriguing aspect of Spartan society was the practice of agoge, a rigorous education and training program for young boys that aimed to produce skilled warriors. Boys were taken from their families at the age of 7 and subjected to strict discipline and physical training. This intense upbringing instilled a sense of duty, loyalty, and self-discipline in Spartan citizens. Sparta's military might was further enhanced by its hoplite soldiers, who were heavily armed infantrymen trained to fight in a phalanx formation. The phalanx was a powerful military tactic that allowed Spartan warriors to move and fight as a cohesive unit, making them a formidable force on the battlefield. In terms of population, Sparta was not as populous as other Greek city-states like Athens, with estimates suggesting that the Spartan population was around 8,000 male citizens at its peak. Despite its smaller population, Sparta was able to maintain its dominance through its military strength and disciplined society. These unique characteristics set Sparta apart from other Greek city-states and played a significant role in shaping its history and legacy. Sparta's military prowess was legendary in ancient Greece, and it was a key factor in the city-state's dominance and influence. One of the most fascinating aspects of Spartan military training was the agoge, a rigorous education system that began at a young age. Boys were taken from their families at the age of 7 and placed in communal barracks, where they underwent intense physical and mental training. This training instilled discipline, endurance, and combat skills in the young Spartans, preparing them for a life of military service. The hoplite soldiers of Sparta were renowned for their skill and effectiveness in battle. These heavily armed infantrymen fought in a phalanx formation, a tightly packed unit that presented a formidable wall of shields and spears to the enemy. The discipline and cohesion of the Spartan phalanx made it a powerful force on the battlefield, capable of breaking enemy lines and securing victory. Spartan warriors were also known for their fearlessness and willingness to sacrifice themselves for the greater good of the city-state. This sense of duty and selflessness was ingrained in Spartan society through their military training and cultural values. In terms of numbers, the Spartan army was relatively small compared to other Greek city-states. At its peak, the Spartan military consisted of around 8,000 citizen soldiers, known as Spartiates. These elite warriors were supported by a larger force of non-citizen troops, including helots and perioikoi. Despite their smaller numbers, the Spartans were able to maintain their military dominance through superior training, discipline, and tactics. The Battle of Thermopylae in 480 BC is one of the most famous examples of Spartan military prowess. In this battle, a small force of 300 Spartans, led by King Leonidas, held off a much larger Persian army for several days at a narrow mountain pass. Although ultimately defeated, the Spartans' bravery and sacrifice became legendary and inspired future generations. The military strength of Sparta was not just limited to land warfare. The Spartan navy, though smaller than other Greek navies, played a crucial role in protecting Spartan interests and projecting power in the Aegean Sea. Spartan naval forces were involved in various conflicts and campaigns, contributing to the city-state's overall military capabilities. Overall, Spartan military prowess was a defining characteristic of the city-state and a key factor in its rise to power and influence in ancient Greece. Sparta's political structure was unique among ancient Greek city-states, characterized by a dual kingship system and a council of elders known as the Gerousia. The two Spartan kings, one from the Aeaciad and one from the Eurypontid royal families, shared power and responsibilities, with each king leading the army in alternating years. The Gerousia, comprised of 28 elders over the age of 60, served as a legislative body and advised the kings on matters of state. Another key political institution in Sparta was the ephors, 5 elected officials responsible for overseeing the kings and enforcing laws. The ephors held significant power and could even depose a king if deemed necessary. In addition to the Gerousia and ephors, there was also the apella, a general assembly of Spartan citizens that voted on important issues and elected officials. The political structure of Sparta was designed to maintain stability and prevent any one individual or group from gaining too much power. Despite its emphasis on military strength, Sparta was not a democracy like Athens, but rather an oligarchy, with power concentrated in the hands of a few elite citizens. The Spartan political system was focused on maintaining the status quo and preserving the traditional values of the city-state. In terms of numbers, the Gerousia consisted of 28 members, while the ephors numbered 5. The apella, the General Assembly of Spartan citizens, likely included all male Spartan citizens over the age of 30. This political structure, with its checks and balances and emphasis on stability, played a crucial role in shaping Spartan society and governance. Sparta, despite its military prowess and disciplined society, faced numerous challenges that ultimately contributed to its decline. One significant challenge was the constant threat of Helot uprisings. The Helots were a servile class of people who worked the land and provided the agricultural base for Spartan society. However, they were also subjected to harsh treatment and oppression by the Spartan elite. The fear of Helot revolts loomed large in Spartan society, leading to a constant state of vigilance and control. Another challenge for Sparta was its relative isolation from the rest of Greece. While other city-states engaged in trade and cultural exchange, Sparta remained focused on military training and conquest. This isolation limited Sparta's economic growth and cultural development, making it increasingly out of step with the changing world around it. In terms of numbers, the Helots outnumbered the Spartan citizens significantly, with estimates suggesting that there were around 7 Helots for every Spartan. This demographic imbalance created a constant source of anxiety for the Spartan elite, who feared the potential consequences of a Helot uprising. Another challenge for Sparta was its declining population. The intense military training and lifestyle of Spartan citizens meant that many men died in battle or were unable to have children. This demographic decline put a strain on Spartan society and its ability to maintain its military strength. In addition, the rigid social structure of Sparta limited social mobility and innovation. The focus on military training and discipline meant that other areas of society, such as the arts, philosophy, and commerce, were neglected. This lack of diversity and adaptability made Sparta vulnerable to external pressures and internal conflicts. The decline of Sparta's military power and political influence can also be attributed to its defeat in the Peloponnesian War. The war, fought between Athens and Sparta, weakened both city-states and paved the way for the rise of Thebes as a dominant power in Greece. The loss of Spartan territory and resources in the war further weakened the city-state and eroded its influence in the region. Despite these challenges, Sparta's legacy as a military powerhouse and disciplined society continues to fascinate historians and scholars to this day. Internal conflicts within Sparta were not uncommon and often stemmed from the rigid social structure and intense military focus of the city-state. One notable internal conflict was the struggle between the 2 Spartan kings, which sometimes led to power struggles and divisions within Spartan society. The dual kingship system, while intended to provide balance and stability, could also create tensions and rivalries between the 2 royal families. Another source of internal conflict was the divide between the Spartiates, the elite warrior class, and the perioikoi, free non-citizen residents of Sparta. The perioikoi played a crucial role in supporting the Spartan economy and military, but were often marginalized and excluded from political power. This social divide created resentment and friction within Spartan society. In terms of numbers, the Spartiates numbered around 8,000 at their peak, while the perioikoi and Helots far outnumbered them. This demographic imbalance contributed to social tensions and power struggles within Sparta. Another internal conflict within Sparta was the struggle for control between the ephors, the Council of Elders, and the kings. The ephors, as elected officials, wielded significant power and influence in Spartan politics, sometimes clashing with the authority of the kings. These power struggles could destabilize Spartan governance and create uncertainty within the city-state. Despite its reputation for discipline and unity, Sparta was not immune to internal conflicts and divisions. These internal tensions, along with external pressures and challenges, played a role in the decline of Spartan military power and political influence. External invasions had a significant impact on the history of Sparta, challenging its military dominance and political influence. One of the most notable invasions was carried out by the Thebans in the Battle of Leuctra in 371 BC. The Thebans, led by the brilliant general Epaminondas, employed innovative tactics that shattered the Spartan phalanx and dealt a devastating blow to Spartan power. This battle marked a turning point in Greek history, signaling the decline of Spartan military supremacy and the rise of Theban influence. Another significant invasion was led by the Macedonian king Philip II in the Battle of Chaeronea in 338 BC. Philip's army, with its superior cavalry and tactics, decisively defeated the combined forces of Athens and Thebes, solidifying Macedonian control over Greece. The defeat at Chaeronea further weakened Spartan influence in the region and highlighted the city-state's vulnerability to external threats. In terms of numbers, the Battle of Leuctra saw the Thebans, with their allies, face off against a Spartan army of around 10,000 soldiers. The unexpected defeat of the Spartans at Leuctra shocked the Greek world and demonstrated the effectiveness of Theban military reforms. Similarly, the Battle of Chaeronea saw the Macedonian forces, led by Philip II and his son Alexander the Great, overwhelm the Greek city-states with a combined army of around 30,000 soldiers. The outcome of these invasions reshaped the political landscape of ancient Greece, with Sparta losing its position as a dominant military power. The impact of external invasions on Sparta was profound, highlighting the city-state's vulnerabilities and contributing to its eventual decline in military strength and political influence. One of the economic factors contributing to the decline of Sparta was its lack of economic diversification. Unlike other Greek city-states that engaged in trade and commerce, Sparta relied heavily on agriculture and the labor of helots for its economic sustenance. This narrow economic base limited Sparta's ability to adapt to changing circumstances and compete with other city-states. Another economic challenge for Sparta was the decline in agricultural productivity. The constant focus on military training and warfare meant that many Spartiates neglected their agricultural duties, leading to a decrease in food production. This decline in agricultural output put a strain on Spartan society and contributed to food shortages and economic instability. In terms of numbers, estimates suggest that the helots, who formed the backbone of the Spartan economy, outnumbered the Spartiates by a significant margin. This demographic imbalance created economic dependence on the helots and made Sparta vulnerable to disruptions in the agricultural sector. Additionally, the lack of a strong merchant class in Sparta limited its ability to engage in trade and generate wealth. While other Greek city-states prospered through commerce and maritime trade, Sparta's focus on military training and conquest left little room for economic development. The decline in economic prosperity had ripple effects throughout Spartan society, weakening its ability to sustain its military power and political influence. These economic challenges, combined with internal conflicts and external invasions, contributed to the gradual decline of Sparta as a dominant force in ancient Greece. Spartan society underwent significant social changes that impacted its structure and dynamics. One interesting aspect of Spartan society was the role of women. Unlike in other Greek city-states, Spartan women enjoyed more freedom and rights. They received physical education and training similar to men, which contributed to their physical strength and independence. Spartan women were also known for their outspokenness and assertiveness, with the ability to own property and participate in public life. This unique status of women in Spartan society set it apart from other ancient civilizations. In terms of numbers, Spartan women made up a significant portion of the population. with estimates suggesting that they outnumbered Spartan men at certain points in history. Another social change in Spartan society was the emphasis on communal living and shared resources. Spartans lived in communal mess halls and barracks, fostering a sense of unity and camaraderie among citizens. This communal lifestyle extended to the sharing of food, clothing, and even children, as Spartan boys were raised collectively in the Agage system. This communal ethos promoted a strong sense of community and solidarity among Spartans. Additionally, Spartan society placed a high value on physical fitness and health. Physical training and exercise were integral parts of daily life, with an emphasis on developing strength, endurance, and discipline. This focus on physical fitness not only prepared Spartans for military service, but also promoted overall well-being and resilience. The social changes in Spartan society, including the unique status of women, communal living practices, and emphasis on physical fitness, contributed to the distinctiveness and resilience of Spartan culture. Education played a crucial role in Spartan society, with the Agage system shaping the values and skills of young Spartans. Boys underwent rigorous physical and mental training from a young age, instilling discipline and loyalty. Interestingly, Spartan education also emphasized music and dance, alongside military training, to cultivate a well-rounded individual. The Agage system aimed to produce skilled warriors and uphold Spartan traditions. In terms of numbers, approximately 600 boys were selected each year to enter the Agage, where they would undergo intense training until the age of 30. This focus on military training and discipline, while effective in producing soldiers, may have hindered innovation and adaptability in Spartan society. The rigid education system, combined with other factors, contributed to the decline of Spartan military power and political influence. Sparta, known for its military prowess and unique social structure, faced challenges such as Helot uprisings and declining agricultural productivity. The Battle of Leuctra saw the Thebans, with their allies, defeat a Spartan army of around 10,000 soldiers, marking a turning point in Greek history. Additionally, the Battle of Chaeronea saw the Macedonian forces, led by Philip II and Alexander the Great, overwhelm the Greek city-states with a combined army of around 30,000 soldiers. Spartan women, who enjoyed more freedom and rights compared to other Greek women, outnumbered Spartan men at certain points in history. The Agage system, which trained approximately 600 boys each year, aimed to produce skilled warriors, but may have hindered innovation in Spartan society. These factors, combined with the rigid social structure and economic challenges, contributed to the decline of Spartan military power and political influence.